This game was almost like a carbon copy of the one the other night, except the Sens did not tie it up late, and instead of the Canucks giving us a frustrating overtime loss in 3-on-3, they saved it for the shootout to break Sens fans' hearts. But in all honesty, I know for myself as a Sens fan anyways, my heart's not broken by this loss. I mean, that would be quite an exaggeration. It's not like, it's a big game late in the season that they need to win to make the playoffs or something like that. I mean, this is a lost year anyways. At least they played pretty good in this one. Didn't dominate like they did Monday night, but I thought they still played a pretty good game overall. This one would not start off well though, as 2:29 into the first period. Again, Ottawa, they shoot themselves in the foot a lot. I mean, they could have a lot more wins this season and be a lot harder to play against if they didn't just hand their opponents easy goals like they do on this one. Christian Wolanin makes kind of an ill-advised pass, and I hope DJ Smith doesn't sit him out for this, but he more than likely will. Just all around, it was a bad play. Wolanin passed up to I forget who, but they lose it inside the line. The Canucks go in on kind of a partial 2-on-1. Bo Horvat passes it over to Brock Besser. Besser scores on Joey Decord, and it's 1-0 Canucks. And then a little bit later into that first period, Thomas Chabot trying to get fancy at the blue line. This was a bit of a controversial play because Nils Höglander, he looked like he tripped up Thomas Chabot, kind of almost a slew foot it looked like. I think that should have been a penalty. Nonetheless, they go down on a 2-on-1. He passed it over to Horvat, who scores. I was pretty upset after that one. I thought they should have blown the play dead on a penalty. Vancouver definitely gets away with one there, and in my opinion, the refs handed the Canucks a goal. So the Sens strike early, just as they did in the second period the other night, and Ryan Dzingel continues his hot start for the Ottawa Senators to get his 6th of the season. 3 minutes in, assisted by Clark Bishop and Christian Wolanin. I thought Bishop was really good in this game. Again, in limited action and only 8:37 of ice time. If Ryan Dzingel keeps up this good play with the Sens, it reminds me a lot, or at least it's starting to remind me a lot of David Perron in St. Louis. Perron, who's a good player, he plays really well when he's in St. Louis, but then he's just kind of average everywhere else he goes. So Ryan Dzingel went to Columbus, he was kind of average. Went to Carolina, kind of average. Couldn't really find him a role there. Now he's back in Ottawa and he's scoring again just as he was when he left Ottawa there. And that's what it really reminds me a lot of, the David Perron situation in St. Louis. So then the third period starts, and 5:07 into that third period, Joey Decord suffers a pretty bad looking injury, and man, I hope he's going to be okay going forward. First and foremost for his own health, because that's what's most important, the player's health at stake, and their quality of life and stuff like that. But also he was playing really well for the Sens in net too, so hopefully he can get back in the cage for them as soon as possible. On the Decord injury, I'm going to go out and assume it was a knee injury, just because, I mean, when he went to push off the post, it looks like the Vancouver guy was going to wrap it around, so when Decord goes to push off the goal post, he looked like he tweaked a knee and he needed to be helped off the ice, and like I said, it just didn't look good at all. So man, I really hope he's okay. So Filip Gustafsson comes in relief. I mean, he's got to be nervous as heck going in there, having to, play in a game that, you're cold in. It's a tight game too. It was 2-1 Vancouver at this point. You got to make some saves to give your team a chance. And what did the Ottawa Senators do to help Gustafsson out right away? Well, 5:34 in to that third period, Josh Norris scores his 7th of the season, assisted by Connor Brown. What a great play there by Norris. What a great shot to beat a hot goalie like Thatcher Demko, who again was really good for the Canucks tonight. It was an all-around good play. Even though Brady Tkachuk didn't get an assist on this one, I do dump on this guy a lot, but that was a good play by him to kind of force Nate Schmidt into making a decision he didn't want to make. Connor Brown gets the puck, makes a nice slick pass to Josh Norris, who scores, as we all know. And that is a really great sign to start, especially for Filip Gustafsson. That probably relaxed him a bunch, seeing that puck go in the net for his team. I just want to point out too that Colin White also looked like he got injured there. It looked like it was a shoulder injury. He left the game. I know a lot of people were thinking, maybe it's because, some of the commentators were saying maybe it's because, the injury that he had in Edmonton there. I really don't think it has any correlation to that. It looked like an upper body, like I said, a shoulder injury for him. Also, Tanner Pearson would leave the game with an injury too, so that third period was just not good for players as far as their health was concerned. So then we go to the overtime, tied up at 2, and the Ottawa Senators, Fortunately, they didn't, get scored on and make any stupid mistakes in this one, really. But they really dominated that 3-on-3 overtime. I thought in total Ottawa had a good game. They didn't dominate like they did Monday night, but I thought they played a very solid game other than maybe the first 10 minutes of the first period. Other than that, I thought they were solid, like I said, and they played well enough to get a win here. They really dominated in that 3-on-3 overtime. The shots were 3-1 for Ottawa in the overtime, but I thought the Sens had the puck a lot more. Vancouver had it for a good couple minutes stretch too once Ottawa finally turned it over. Thomas Chabot had a 2.5-minute shift in the overtime, and he eventually finds the puck. He guns it up ice, gets to the blue line, and Evgeny Dadonov goes offside. Can you believe it? Like, Thomas Chabot, he finds the energy to gun the puck up ice, like I said, skate as fast as he can to create that 2-on-1 despite being out there 2.5 minutes. And Dadonov wastes Chabot's efforts on that play by going offside. And like Gary Galley said, the commentator on the broadcast, he said, Dadonov can really make no excuse for going offside in that play. It's a clear-cut 2-on-1. I don't know if I fully agree with that, though, because there was a Canucks back checker coming back, and maybe he felt the pressure on him to get over that blue line and keep the 2-on-1 going. But nonetheless, that's still a really tough play. And man, I was pretty frustrated to see Dadonov go offside there. I just want to point out, too, I thought Philip Gustafsson looked pretty solid in the final 14:53 of the third and throughout the overtime. Even though he didn't really have much work to do in the overtime, I still thought he was solid. In the shootout, he was solid as well, but eventually the Sens would lose it. And they would lose it in the fourth round as Adam Gaudette would come in and make a pretty good play as he slid it through the legs of Gustafsson. I mean, I don't know, it would be nice to get a save there, but what the heck, I thought Gustafsson did a really good job in a really tough situation. It was a nice move by Gaudette, though, you got to give him some credit too. He scores there, and Vancouver comes away with a win, 3-2 in a shootout. I just want to say something really quick. I see a lot of Canucks fans on Twitter talking crap after the win and stuff like that. Well, you know what? Yay, congratulations, Canucks fans. Your bad team beat my even worse team, and you barely beat them in a shootout and in an overtime the night before that, or a couple nights before that. And you were dominated, too, by one of the worst teams in the league on Monday night, and you barely beat them again last night. I just want to point out, too, about Tim Stutzel. I know I talk about this guy a lot, and rightfully so. He is looking really good. Like, he's out there making plays. He's looking more and more comfortable, looking more and more dangerous every game. His first few games of his NHL career, I thought he was just okay. He didn't really look that dangerous, but he's been looking dangerous consistently every night for, I would say, at least a good 5 weeks now. So those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what all of you think in the comment section below, as always. And I just want to mention, too, about the Sens goaltending situation. They did claim Anton Forsberg off waivers from the Winnipeg Jets, and it's probably a good thing they did that, especially with the Cord getting injured. They're really digging deep into their goaltending depth, that's for sure. So let me know all that and more in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.